Right, hello and welcome back to episode 4 now. Today we're going to be cleaning the carbs. Again, we've got Sean helping, so I'll be getting his help to explain what he's doing. And after we've cleaned the carbs, I don't know what we're going to do. Probably clean, and I need to take the rest of these fairings off. So that is the kind of plan for today. Let's go.
Carb cleaner from St. Buda Motor Spares, or mateys.
Yeah. Cheers, Budo boys.
We've got a discount, can't be moaning.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so we're going to clean the carb out. First, we're going to go through all the little holes, all the little nooks and crannies, clean it all out. It is relatively clean anyway, so shouldn't be too much. Each hole, watch your eyes because it burns.
Don't stand over it.
If you ain't got it in your eye, you ain't doing it right. There you go, one in the eye. Right, so that's all them ones done. Then you got some holes back here. You got one in there. Start with this top one. Another one. And you've got another one up here.
Smells quite nice.
Cold on your fingers. That's that. And then we have this one here. You don't get this one, you won't get the vacuum. Which means that the slider won't come up. Get that one in there where the blooming spring is. Cool. Get it all there. Yeah. Yep. Cool. That is all the holes that I can see. I'm pretty sure it's all the holes. We've left the carb adjustment for mixture. We've left them in. They were set up. Okay, so we'll leave them. If we get any issues later, we can always take them out and clean them. But usually it's 1.5 turns out. But I don't know what's been messed about with this engine. Obviously the new engine might be different. Might have to adjust it a bit, but I think this should be alright for the moment. On the ends one. Fine, we'll move this one out of the way. Let's get our little bag of stuff. Right, so we're going to go through and clean all the gubbins of each carb and then slowly put them back together. Start off with the main jet. I've lost my tube.
It's in the bucket.
Thanks, mate. Main jet. Nice and clean.
Yeah.
This is your fuel shut off technically for each carb, and it's got like I think it's rubber, but it might be like a plastic or something like that, and it's tapered and it wedges inside your, I don't know what this is, but it's got a little filter on it, and it basically sits inside and it blocks it off, so as you pull it out it allows fuel to go in and out. So if this is worn, it will not seal properly, which will allow fuel to come in, and you'll find that you'll get like a leaky carb, and it'll just, like, when you switch the engine off, it will carry on leaking into the thing, and you might end up getting a hydro lock on that one cylinder. I've had that a couple of times. It's quite annoying. But yeah, usually it's this or your float bowl stuck. Your float, not your float bowl. Now let's clean this one out. And this is your idle jet. And then make sure that these little ones are all clean. If you find that it's blocked, what I do, I don't know if it's the right thing to do, what I'll do is I get like a wire with like a multi-strand wire, take one of the strands out and use a strand of it to poke through, poke it and clean it. That one's perfect, so you don't need to do that. And then we've got the emulsifying tube. Make sure that all these holes are nice and my fingers freezing. This is your carb needle. And like I said in the last video, you've got a tapered edge which goes in and out, and then you have the jet, which I think it sits that way, and the more it goes in, the more it reduces the amount of fuel going in and out at a certain point. Also, there's a little circlip on the top. Now this is set up to the top, which means that when it's in the actual thing, it will be at its lowest point. So if you set it to the bottom, it would be at its highest point, so it would technically allow more fuel in. Lower, but this was how it was set before. I don't know if that's right, we'll have to check on that. Usually they're set in the middle, but obviously over the years it's been adjusted, so we'll leave it at that for the moment. So now we're going to put this back together on this one carb. So if I move this one out the way, we've got this one here. That just make sure your seals are all right on it. Seal looks pretty good. Push this one back in. That's that one done. Nice and simple. And then you've got your float bowl, or your float, which then goes in like that. So it acts like a hinge. And then you've got your plunger. That hooks on. It's a bit awkward to see. There's a little hook there. Hooks on there. It sits down like that. You see that? Mm-hmm. And that sits in that little hole there. Like that there. And then we need a screw. Hopefully I can find the right one. Sits on there. You find the biggest screwdriver you can. Don't go too mental with it. Obviously snug it up, because it's an alley carb, like most carbs are. You'll find if you do it too much, you'll just rip the thread out, and then you've got loads of trouble. So that float now lift up and down like that. And act like a switch basically. So it allows the fuel in and stops the fuel. Next is the emulsifying tube. That one goes in there, like that. And then we need this one here. Little tweak, not too much. And we go for the main jet. This one here. Screw that one in there. Like that. Flathead screwdriver. Little tweak, not too tight. Then we've got the idle jet. And it goes in that little hole down there. A little poke. Use the red screwdriver because that's the only one that fits in there. It's not that red screwdriver. This red screwdriver. Screw him in until he gets to the bottom. Little tweak, not too tight. Because if you lock that in there, it's going to be a nightmare to get back out again. So that is the bottom of the carb done. Give this a quick blast out. Try not to get it on the rubber because it makes the seals expand. Nice and clean. Get in the right way. There we go. Don't do them too tight. So that is the bottom of that carb done. Always give it a wiggle. Make sure that it's moving. If you find that you get a leak in carb, it's usually because your float's jammed up. And then with your needle, that goes into the little hole down there. And you've got your spring with a retainer that sits on there and there. And you'll poke that down. Only one way it can go, but I usually get it wrong both times. So then down here, got to line that up with the jet. I think that went in first time. Get on. Got like a rubber seal here. Try and get that on. Sometimes they shrink, so you've got to make sure you get that on with the actual bit. Let's see if that sits down there. Make sure that that needle sits in that hole, and then when you lift it up and down, it moves. Oh, we'll go there. Now we've got this bit here. That sits in there like that. It's got like a little lug. Sits inside that spring. Make sure you get the little nubbin on the spring. Goes them down. And 4 of these screws. A little tweak, not too much. And that is how you put one carb back together.
So that was episode 4, how to clean carburetors. So that was a demonstration. These weren't fully taken apart, but it gives you a good idea of the process that you need to follow and where you need to clean and why. So I hope that helps. As always, we're just amateurs doing this for a bit of fun. Don't always take what we say as gospel, but that is a good idea. Sean's pulling his years of experience together working on his own bikes to help me out with this one. So kind comments are appreciated. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed that video on ZXR400 carburetor cleaning. Stay tuned. The next episode we're going to get loads of stuff done to the bike. So subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new, welcome, and we'll see you in the next one.